We are about to explore the divine mysteries that govern our lives and shape our destiny through faith, hope, and the eternal guidance of God, who is your own wonderful human imagination. Let us begin with a fundamental truth. God and your human imagination are one and the same. They are inseparable. For imagination is the very substance of God expressing itself through you. As we enter this new year, you must understand that every moment of your life is a moment of divine creation happening right now in your consciousness. Now, let me share with you a story from Scripture that perfectly illustrates our discussion tonight. In the book of Hebrews, we read faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. This passage holds the key to understanding how to begin 2025 with absolute certainty of divine guidance. You see, my dear friends, faith is not some nebulous concept that exists outside of you. Faith is the very substance, the very feeling of your desire fulfilled. When you have true faith, you don't hope for something to happen in the future. You experience it as already accomplished in your imagination, which is God in action. Let us perform an experiment right now. Close your eyes, if you will, and think of something you desire to experience in 2025. Now, instead of hoping it will happen, I want you to feel the naturalness of it already being accomplished. Feel the joy, the satisfaction, the completeness of having it now. This feeling, this acceptance, this knowing, this is faith in its purest form. You see, hope as the world knows it is a confession of faithlessness. True hope, divine hope, is the feeling of the wish fulfilled. It is not waiting. It is not wanting. It is the conscious awareness of already being what you desire to be. This is why I tell you time and time again that imagination creates reality. Now let me share with you a profound secret about God's guidance in 2025. Many of you seek guidance as though it was something external, something to be found outside yourselves. But I tell you this, God's guidance is the natural movement of your own wonderful human imagination when it is faithfully focused on your desire fulfilled. Consider the words of David in Psalms. He leads me beside still waters. These still waters represent the calm, assured state of consciousness when you truly know that what you desire is already yours. This is divine guidance in its purest form. Let me tell you a story that perfectly illustrates this principle. Recently, a lady came to me in distress about her financial situation. She was worried about the year ahead and asked how she could receive God's guidance to improve her circumstances. I told her what I'm telling you now. God's guidance is not something to be received. It is something to be assumed. I instructed her to go home and before sleep each night, feel the naturalness of financial abundance. Not to pray for money, but to feel the satisfaction of already having it. Within 2 weeks, she received an unexpected promotion that doubled her salary. You see, she didn't find guidance. She exercised it through her wonderful human imagination. This, my dear friends, is how you begin 2025 with true faith. You must understand that faith is not something you have. It is something you exercise through the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Every time you assume the feeling of your desire accomplished, you are exercising faith in its highest form. Now let us delve deeper into the mystery of hope. The world teaches you to hope for better things, to wish for improvement, to desire change. But I tell you this, true hope is the feeling of your wish fulfilled, experienced now in your imagination. When you genuinely feel the reality of your desire fulfilled, you are expressing hope in its divine form. Consider the biblical story of Abraham, who against hope believed in hope. What does this mean? It means that despite external evidence to the contrary, he maintained the feeling of his desire fulfilled. He did not hope as the world hopes. He hoped as God hopes. by feeling the reality of his wish fulfilled. This brings us to a crucial point about beginning 2025 with God's guidance. Many of you think of guidance as directions to follow, as though God were a cosmic GPS system. But I tell you this, God's guidance is the natural unfoldment of events when you maintain the consciousness of your wish fulfilled. You see, when you sustain the feeling of your desire accomplished, you are allowing divine guidance to operate in its perfect way. The events, circumstances, and people necessary for the fulfillment of your desire are drawn to you by law. This is what Jesus meant when he said, "Your Father knows what you need before you ask him." Let me share another principle that will transform your experience of 2025. Every moment of your day is a moment of creation. Your consciousness, your I am, is God in action. Whatever you are conscious of being, you will become. This is why it's so crucial to maintain the feeling of your desire fulfilled throughout your daily activities. Imagine you desire a new home in 2025. Don't pray for it, pray from it. Feel the joy of living in that home now. Feel the texture of the furniture, the warmth of the sunlight through the windows, the comfort of each room. Fall asleep in that state of consciousness. This is not mere visualization, this is the operation of God's law through your wonderful human imagination. Now, some of you might say, "But Neville, what about when circumstances seem to contradict my desire?" This is where the true test of faith comes in. You must learn to deny the demands of your senses and remain faithful to the feeling of your wish fulfilled. Remember the words of Jesus, "Judge not according to appearances." Let me tell you about a gentleman who attended my lectures years ago. He wanted to expand his businesses internationally, but faced seemingly insurmountable obstacles. Instead of focusing on the obstacles, he began to feel the naturalness of having an international business. He would fall asleep feeling the joy of receiving calls from overseas clients, the satisfaction of global success. Within months, a series of seemingly unrelated events led to partnerships that expanded his business to 3 continents. You see, he didn't make it happen. He allowed it to happen by maintaining the consciousness of his wish fulfilled. This is God's guidance in action. As we continue deeper into this discussion, let me share with you a profound truth about faith in 2025. Faith is not believing in something. Faith is the feeling of something. When you truly have faith, you don't think about your desire, you think from it. This distinction is crucial for understanding how to begin this year with absolute faith. Consider the story of Peter walking on water. As long as he maintained the consciousness of being able to walk on water, he did. It was only when he became aware of the wind and waves, the facts of his physical senses, that he began to sink. This story perfectly illustrates how to maintain faith in 2025 despite challenging circumstances. You see, my dear friends, every moment of your life is the result of your assumptions. If you assume lack, you will experience lack. If you assume abundance, you will experience abundance. This is not positive thinking. This is the law of consciousness in action. Your assumptions, sustained with feeling, become your reality. Let me share another secret about divine guidance in 25. Many people, they need to search for God's guidance. But I charge God's guidance is God's maintaining the right state of consciousness. When you feel your wish fulfilled, you are allowing divine guidance to operate in its perfect way. Think of it this way. If you wanted to travel to a specific destination, you wouldn't constantly question whether you're going the right way if you were already there. Similarly, when you maintain the consciousness of your wish fulfilled, you don't need to seek guidance. You are being guided naturally by the law of consciousness. Now let us discuss hope in its true spiritual sense. Hope, as I've said, is not wishing for something to happen. True hope is the feeling of your desire accomplished. When you feel the reality of your wish fulfilled, you are expressing hope in its highest form. Consider the words of Paul, Christ in you, the hope of glory. Christ is not a person who lived 2,000 years ago. Christ is your own wonderful human imagination. When you exercise your imagination lovingly on behalf of yourself or another, you are expressing Christ, the hope of glory. Let me tell you about a remarkable experience that illustrates this principle. A young mother came to me concerned about her child's health. Instead of praying for healing, I instructed her to feel the naturalness of her child being perfectly healthy, to feel the joy of seeing her child play, run, and laugh with abundant energy. Within weeks, the child's health improved dramatically. You see, she didn't beg God for healing. She expressed God through her wonderful human imagination. This is how you use hope correctly in 2025. You don't hope for better circumstances. You feel the naturalness of your desired circumstances now. As we delve even deeper into these mysteries, let me share with you a fundamental truth about faith, hope, and divine guidance. These are not three separate things. They are three aspects of the same thing, your consciousness in action. When you have faith, you are maintaining the consciousness of your wish fulfilled. When you have true hope, you are feeling the reality of your desire accomplished. When you experience divine guidance, you are allowing the natural unfoldment of events from that state of consciousness. Consider the story of Joshua and the walls of Jericho. The people were instructed to march around the walls for 7 days, maintaining the feeling of victory before any physical evidence appeared. This is exactly how you should approach 2025, maintaining the feeling of your desire fulfilled before any physical evidence appears. Now let me share something profound about beginning this year with absolute faith. Many of you think faith requires effort, but true faith is effortless. It is simply the natural feeling of your wish fulfilled. When you truly desire something, you don't effort to want it, you simply want it. Similarly, when you have true faith, you don't effort to believe, you simply feel the naturalness of your desire accomplished. Let me tell you about a businessman who applied this principle perfectly. He desired to double his company's revenue in 2025. Instead of worrying about how it would happen, he began to feel the naturalness of having doubled revenue. He would look at his financial statements and feel the satisfaction of seeing doubled figures. He would have conversations in his imagination where he discussed his company's remarkable growth. Within months, opportunities began presenting themselves naturally. New clients appeared. Existing clients increased their orders and partnerships formed effortlessly. You see, he didn't make it happen. He allowed it to happen by maintaining the right state of consciousness. This brings us to another crucial point about divine guidance in 2025. The world teaches you to make things happen, but I tell you this, your only role is to maintain the consciousness of your wish fulfilled. Everything else is handled by the law. As Jesus said, the Father that dwelleth in me, he doeth the works. Consider how a seed grows. It doesn't effort to become a tree. It simply contains within itself the pattern of its future expression. Similarly, when you maintain the consciousness of your wish fulfilled, you contain within yourself the pattern of its future expression. This is divine guidance in its purest form. Now, let us discuss something vital about hope in 2025. True hope is not about the future, it is about the present. When you hope correctly, you are feeling now what you want to experience. This feeling, this conscious assumption, is the substance that creates your future experience. Let me share a principle that will transform your understanding of faith, hope, and divine guidance. Everything you experience is the result of your consciousness. Your consciousness is God in action. Therefore, when you change your consciousness, you change your experience of God's guidance. Think of it this way. If you were to receive $1 million tomorrow, you would naturally feel wealthy today. You wouldn't wait until the money appeared to feel wealthy. The feeling would precede the physical event. This is exactly how you should approach everything you desire in 25. Let me tell you about a teacher who applied this principle beautifully. She desired to impact more students' lives, but felt limited by her current position. Instead of looking for external opportunities, she began to feel the naturalness of reaching thousands of students. She would fall asleep feeling the joy of receiving messages from students whose lives she had transformed. Within months, she was offered an opportunity to create an online course that reached students globally. You see, she didn't make it happen. She allowed it to happen by maintaining the consciousness of her wish fulfilled. As we approach the conclusion of our discussion tonight, let me share one final truth about beginning 2025 with faith, hope, and God's guidance. Everything you desire already exists in infinite potential. Your role is not to create it. Your role is to accept it as already accomplished in your consciousness. Consider the words of Jesus. Therefore I say unto you, what things soever ye desire, when ye pray, believe that ye receive them, and ye shall have them. This is not a promise about the future. This is a statement about the power of consciousness now. You see, my dear friends, 2025 is not something that happens to you. It is something that happens from you. Your consciousness is the substance from which all your experiences are formed. When you maintain the consciousness of your desires fulfilled, you are allowing the perfect expression of divine guidance in your life. Remember this, faith is not something you have. It is something you exercise through feeling. Hope is not something you do, it is something you are. Divine guidance is not something you seek. It is something you allow by maintaining the right state of consciousness. As you leave here tonight, I want you to take with you this profound truth. You are not going to become what you want to be. You must be what become. Feel the naturalness of your desires fulfilled. Live from that state of consciousness. Allow the perfect operation of divine law to bring about the circumstances, events, and relationships that match your conscious assumption. For in truth, there is only one cause in all of creation, consciousness. And consciousness is God in action through your wonderful human imagination. Use it lovingly, use it wisely, and watch as 2025 unfolds in perfect harmony with your highest desires. That is all for tonight, my dear friends. May you go in peace, maintaining the consciousness of your wishes fulfilled, allowing the perfect expression of God's guidance in your life. For truly, with faith exercised through feeling, hope expressed through being, and guidance allowed through consciousness, 2025 will be a year of divine fulfillment. Imagine a world where no one has the power to disturb your peace. This is not a far-off dream, but your immediate reality, waiting to be claimed. The secret lies not in controlling others, but in mastering your own consciousness. You see, anger is not thrust upon you by external forces. It is a choice, a reaction born from within. When you feel anger rising, know that you are the operant power. You are not a victim of circumstances, but the creator of your emotional state. Consider this, the world you perceive is nothing more than a reflection of your inner state. Those who anger you are merely playing the part you have assigned them in your mind. They are actors on the stage of your consciousness, reading the script you have written. To never be bothered is to realize that there is no other separate from you. All that you perceive is you pushed out. The angry colleague, the rude stranger, the difficult family member. They are all aspects of yourself. mirroring back to you your own beliefs and expectations. Let us pause and truly absorb this truth. You are not a small being buffeted by the whims of others. You are the dreamer of this dream we call life. You are the author of every experience, every interaction. When you grasp this, you will see that getting angry at another is as absurd as getting angry at your own reflection in a mirror. Would you shake your fist at your image, demanding it change? Of course not. You would simply change your own expression, and the mirror would faithfully reflect that change. So too with the world around you. Change your conception of yourself, and the world must follow suit. This is the law, immutable and eternal. But how, you may ask, do we put this into practice? The key lies in your imagination. Your imagination is the most potent force in the universe. It is the workshop wherein you craft your reality. When someone pushes your buttons, pause. Step back from the situation and enter your imagination. See the scene play out differently. Imagine yourself responding with calm, with understanding, with love. Feel the peace that comes with this new reaction. This is not denial or repression. This is conscious creation. You are actively choosing a new state of being, and as you do so, you are literally rewriting the script of your life. Remember, the subconscious mind cannot distinguish between what is vividly imagined and what is physically experienced. As you consistently imagine yourself unperturbed, your subconscious will accept this as your new reality. And what the subconscious accepts, it must externalize. You may find at first that this requires effort. Old habits of reaction may try to reassert themselves, but persist. Every time you choose peace over anger, you are strengthening this new pattern in your consciousness. Understand that those who seem to provoke you are not your enemies. They are your greatest teachers. They are showing you the areas where you still hold limiting beliefs about yourself and the world. Each encounter is an opportunity for growth, for expanding your consciousness. Consider this: if you believe the world is a hostile place, full of people waiting to take advantage of you, that is precisely the experience you will have. Your belief will be made flesh, manifest in your reality. But if you truly know, that you are the operant power, that all of creation is working for your good, how can anyone possibly anger you? Every person, every situation becomes a blessing, a catalyst for your expansion. This is not to say you become a doormat, accepting mistreatment. Far from it. When you operate from this level of consciousness, you naturally command respect. You don't demand it, you embody it. Your very presence radiates an energy that uplifts those around you. Think of the great spiritual teachers throughout history. Did they rail against those who opposed them? Did they get drawn into petty arguments? No, they stood firm in their knowing, unshaken by the opinions or actions of others. You have this same power within you. It is your divine birthright. Claim it now. Know that you are the master of your emotions, the architect of your experiences. When you find yourself in a situation that would normally provoke anger, pause, take a deep breath. Remember who you truly are. You are not a small, reactive being. You are a divine creator, shaping reality with your consciousness. In that moment of pause, revise the scene in your mind. See it playing out harmoniously. Feel the emotions you would feel if the interaction were peaceful and productive. Hold that feeling, saturate yourself in it. This is not pretense or self-deception. This is the highest form of living. You are actively choosing your state of being rather than reacting unconsciously to external stimuli. As you practice this, you will find that your external reality begins to shift. People who once irritated you will suddenly seem different. You may find them becoming more agreeable, more respectful, or you may find that they simply fade from your experience, replaced by individuals who resonate with your new state of being. Remember, everyone in your world is you pushed out, as you change your conception of yourself, as you embody peace and understanding, the world must rearrange itself to match your new self-concept. This is not a one-time event, but a continuous practice. Each day presents new opportunities to choose peace over anger, understanding over judgment. Each interaction is a chance to remember your true nature as the operant power in your reality. You may wonder, but what about injustice in the world? Should we not get angry at wrongdoing? This is a valid question, but consider this. Has anger ever truly solved a problem? Has it ever brought about lasting change? True change, lasting transformation, comes from a place of love and understanding. When you operate from this higher state of consciousness, you become a far more effective force for good in the world. You see, anger clouds judgment. It narrows perspective. When you're angry, you're trapped in a limited view of reality. But when you remain calm, centered in your knowing, you can see the bigger picture. You can respond with wisdom rather than react with emotion. This doesn't mean you become passive in the face of wrongdoing. On the contrary, you become more powerful. Your actions stem from a place of clarity and purpose rather than blind rage or frustration. Think of the great change makers in history, the ones who brought about true, lasting transformation. They didn't operate from anger, but from a deep, unshakable conviction in the power of love and truth. As you practice this new way of being, you'll find that your influence on the world grows. People will be naturally drawn to your peace, your unshakable calm. You become a living example of what's possible, inspiring others to rise above reactivity and choose a higher way of being. Remember, the world is not happening to you, it's responding to you. Every person you encounter, every situation you face is a reflection of your own consciousness. When you no longer get angry or bothered, it's not because the world has changed, but because you have changed your perception of the world. This shift in perception is the key to personal freedom. No longer are you at the mercy of others' actions or words. You stand sovereign in your own consciousness, choosing your reactions, sculpting your experience of reality. Imagine moving through life with this level of inner peace. Imagine facing every situation, no matter how challenging, with calm assurance. This is not just a pleasant fantasy, but your birthright as a conscious creator. But let's be clear, this is not about suppressing emotions or denying reality. It's about transcending the old patterns of reactivity and stepping into your power as the author of your life story. When you feel the old anger rising, welcome it. Observe it. But don't identify with it. See it as a signal, a reminder to shift your perception. In that moment, you have a choice. You can fall into the old pattern, or you can choose again. You can remember the truth of who you are. This practice requires vigilance, especially at first. The old habits of reaction will try to reassert themselves. The world may seem to test your new resolve, but stand firm in your knowing. Each time you choose peace over anger, you are strengthening this new pattern in your consciousness. As you persist in this practice, you'll find that it becomes easier. What once required conscious effort becomes your natural state of being. You'll find yourself responding to life's challenges with grace and ease, unruffled by the storms that once would have thrown you off balance. This is not about becoming emotionless or detached. On the contrary, you'll find that you become more fully alive, more deeply engaged with life. You'll experience a richness of emotion, a depth of experience that was impossible when you were caught in cycles of anger and reaction. You see, anger narrows our perspective. It locks us into a limited view of reality. But when we free ourselves from the grip of anger, we open ourselves to the full spectrum of life's experiences. We become more empathetic, more understanding, more connected to those around us. This shift in consciousness has far-reaching effects. As you move through the world unbothered by the actions of others, you become a calming influence. Your peace ripples out, touching everyone you encounter. You become a living demonstration of what's possible when we choose love over fear, understanding over judgment. Remember, this practice is not about achieving some perfect state where you never feel negative emotions. It's about developing the ability to choose your response in any given moment. It's about reclaiming your power as the creator of your experience. There will be times when you falter, when the old patterns resurface. When this happens, be gentle with yourself. Don't judge or criticize. Simply observe, acknowledge, and choose again. Each moment is a new opportunity to remember the truth of who you are. As you continue this practice, you'll find that your entire experience of life transforms. Situations that once would have provoked anger now become opportunities for growth and understanding. People who once irritated you become your greatest teachers. You'll begin to see the divine in everyone you encounter, recognizing that they too are on their own journey of awakening. This recognition naturally gives rise to compassion, to a deep sense of connection with all of life. This state of being is your natural inheritance. It is who you truly are beneath the layers of conditioning and false beliefs. As you strip away these layers, as you consistently choose peace over anger, you are revealing your true self. Imagine moving through your days with unshakable inner peace. Imagine facing every interaction, every challenge with calm assurance. This is not just a pleasant fantasy, but your birthright as a conscious creator. But let's be clear, this transformation doesn't happen overnight. It's a journey, a continuous unfolding. Each day presents new opportunities to practice, to choose again, to remember the truth of who you are. As you persist in this practice, you'll find that your entire experience of life shifts. The world around you will seem to change, to become more harmonious, more aligned with your inner state. But remember, it's not the world that has changed, but your perception of it. This shift in perception is the key to personal freedom. No longer are you at the mercy of others' actions or words. You stand sovereign in your own consciousness, choosing your reactions, sculpting your experience of reality. But what about those times when anger seems justified? What about when we witness injustice or cruelty? Remember, choosing not to get angry doesn't mean becoming passive or accepting of wrongdoing. It means responding from a place of clarity and wisdom rather than blind emotion. When you're not caught up in anger, you can see situations more clearly. You can respond more effectively. Your actions come from a place of love and understanding rather than rage or vengeance. And paradoxically, this makes you a far more powerful force for change in the world. I think of the great spiritual leaders and social reformers throughout history. They didn't effect change through anger, but through an unshakable commitment to love and truth. They demonstrated the transformative power of remaining steadfast in one's highest principles, even in the face of opposition or injustice. As you cultivate this state of inner peace, you too become a powerful force for good in the world. Your very presence becomes a reminder to others of their own divine nature. You become a living example of what's possible when we choose love over fear, understanding over judgment. Remember, everyone you encounter is you pushed out. They are playing the role you have assigned them in your consciousness. If you find yourself repeatedly encountering angry or difficult people, look within. What beliefs are you holding about yourself and the world that are being reflected back to you? This is where the real work lies. It's not about changing others, but about changing your own consciousness. As you shift your inner state, as you cultivate peace and understanding within yourself, you'll find that the world around you naturally begins to reflect this new state of being. This doesn't mean that challenging situations will never arise, but it does mean that you'll be able to face these situations from a place of centered calm rather than reactivity. You'll be able to respond with wisdom and compassion rather than lash out in anger. Imagine how this could transform your relationships. Imagine how it could impact your work life, your family dynamics, your interactions with strangers. When you're no longer triggered by the words or actions of others, you become free to engage with life fully, openly, without the armor of defensiveness or the weight of resentment. This state of being is your natural inheritance. It is who you truly are beneath the layers of conditioning and false beliefs. As you strip away these layers, as you consistently choose peace over anger, you are revealing your true self. But remember, this is not about suppressing emotions or denying reality. It's about transcending the old patterns of reactivity and stepping into your power as the author of your life story. It's about recognizing that you have a choice in every moment, a choice to react unconsciously or to respond consciously. As you practice this new way of being, you'll find that life becomes less of a struggle and more of a dance. You'll move through your days with a sense of ease and flow, unruffled by the storms that once would have thrown you off balance. You'll find that your relationships deepen and become more authentic. When you're not caught up in anger or defensiveness, you're free to truly listen, to truly connect. You become more empathetic, more understanding, more compassionate. This shift in consciousness has far-reaching effects. As you move through the world unbothered by the actions of others, you become a calming influence. Your peace ripples out, touching everyone you encounter. You become a living demonstration of what's possible when we choose love over fear, understanding over judgment. Remember, this practice is not about achieving some perfect state where you never feel negative emotions. It's about developing the ability to choose your response in any given moment. It's about reclaiming your power as the creator of your experience. There will be times when you falter, when the old patterns resurface. When this happens, be gentle with yourself. Don't judge or criticize. Simply observe, acknowledge, and choose again. Each moment is a new opportunity to remember the truth of who you are. As you continue this practice, you'll find that your entire experience of life transforms. Situations that once would have provoked anger now become opportunities for growth and understanding. People who once irritated you become your greatest teachers. You'll begin to see the divine in everyone you encounter, recognizing that they too are on their own journey of awakening. This recognition naturally gives rise to compassion, to a deep sense of connection with all of life. This state of being is your natural inheritance. It is who you truly are beneath the layers of conditioning and false beliefs. As you strip away these layers, as you consistently choose peace over anger, you are revealing your true self. Imagine moving through your days with unshakable inner peace. Imagine facing every interaction, every challenge with calm assurance. This is not just a pleasant fantasy, but your birthright as a conscious creator. But let's be clear, this transformation doesn't happen overnight. It's a journey, a continuous unfolding. Each day presents new opportunities to practice, to choose again, to remember the truth of who you are. As you persist in this practice, you'll find that your entire experience of life shifts. The world around you will seem to change, to become more harmonious, more aligned with your inner state. But remember, it's not the world that has changed, but your perception of it. This shift in perception is the key to personal freedom. No longer are you at the mercy of others' actions or words. You stand sovereign in your own consciousness, choosing your reactions, sculpting your experience of reality. But what about those times when anger seems justified? What about when we witness injustice or cruelty? Remember, choosing not to get angry doesn't mean becoming passive or accepting of wrongdoing. It means responding from a place of clarity and wisdom rather than blind emotion. When you're not caught up in anger, you can see situations more clearly. You can respond more effectively. Your actions come from a place of love and understanding rather than rage or vengeance. And paradoxically, this makes you a far more powerful force for change in the world. Think of the great spiritual leaders and social reformers throughout history. They didn't effect change through anger, but through an unshakable commitment to love and truth. They demonstrated the transformative power of remaining steadfast in one's highest principles, even in the face of opposition or injustice. As you cultivate this state of inner peace, you too become a powerful force for good in the world. Your very presence becomes a reminder to others of their own divine nature. You become a living example of what's possible when we choose love over fear, understanding over judgment. Remember, everyone you encounter is you pushed out. They are playing the role you have assigned them in your consciousness. If you find yourself repeatedly encountering angry or difficult people, look within. What beliefs are you holding about yourself and the world that are being reflected back to you? This is where the real work lies. It's not about changing others, but about changing your own consciousness. As you shift your inner state, you'll find that the world around you naturally begins to reflect this new state of being. This doesn't mean challenging situations won't arise, but you'll face them from a place of centered calm rather than reactivity, responding with wisdom and compassion. Imagine how this could transform your relationships, work-life, family dynamics, and interactions with strangers. When you're no longer triggered by others' words or actions, you're free to engage with life fully, without defensiveness or resentment. This state of being is your natural inheritance, who you truly are beneath layers of conditioning and false beliefs. As you strip away these layers, consistently choosing peace over anger, you reveal your true self. Remember, this isn't about suppressing emotions or denying reality. It's about transcending old patterns of reactivity and stepping into your power as the author of your life story. It's recognizing that in every moment you have a choice to react unconsciously or respond consciously. As you practice this new way of being, life becomes less of a struggle and more of a dance. You'll move through your days with ease and flow, unruffled by storms that once would have thrown you off balance. Your relationships will deepen and become more authentic. When you're not caught up in anger or defensiveness, you're free to truly listen and connect. You become more empathetic, understanding, and compassionate. This shift in consciousness has far-reaching effects. As you move through the world, unbothered by others' actions, you become a calming influence. Your peace ripples out, touching everyone you encounter. You become a living demonstration of what's possible when we choose love over fear, understanding over judgment. This practice isn't about achieving a perfect state where you never feel negative emotions. It's about developing the ability to choose your response in any given moment, reclaiming your power as the creator of your experience. There will be times when you falter, when old patterns resurface. When this happens, be gentle with yourself. Don't judge or criticize. Simply observe, acknowledge, and choose again. Each moment is a new opportunity to remember the truth of who you are. As you continue this practice, your entire experience of life transforms. Situations that once provoked anger become opportunities for growth and understanding. People who once irritated you become your greatest teachers. You'll begin to see the divine in everyone you encounter, recognize that they too are on their journey of awakening. This recognition naturally gives rise to compassion and a deep sense of connection with all of life. Imagine moving through your days with unshakable inner peace, facing every interaction and challenge with calm assurance. This is not just a pleasant fantasy, but your birthright as a conscious creator. This transformation is a journey, a continuous unfolding. Each day presents new opportunities to practice, to choose again, to remember the truth of who you are. As you persist, your entire experience of life shifts. The world around you will seem to change, becoming more harmonious and aligned with your inner state. But remember, it's not the world that has changed, but your perception of it. This shift in perception is the key to personal freedom. no longer at the mercy of others' actions or words. You stand sovereign in your own consciousness, choosing your reactions and sculpting your experience of reality. When anger seems justified in the face of injustice or cruelty, remember, choosing not to get angry doesn't mean becoming passive or accepting of wrongdoing. It means responding from a place of clarity and wisdom rather than blind emotion. When you're not caught up in anger, you see situations more clearly and respond more effectively. Your actions come from a place of love and understanding rather than rage or vengeance. Paradoxically, this makes you a far more powerful force for change in the world. Think of the great spiritual leaders and social reformers throughout history. They didn't effect change through anger, but through an unshakable commitment to love and truth. They demonstrated the transformative power of remaining steadfast in one's highest principles, even in the face of opposition or injustice. As you cultivate this state of inner peace, you too become a powerful force for good in the world. Your very presence becomes a reminder to others of their own divine nature. You become a living example of what's possible when we choose love over fear, understanding over judgment. Remember, everyone you encounter is you pushed out playing the role you've assigned them in your consciousness. If you find yourself repeatedly encountering angry or difficult people, look within. What beliefs are you holding about yourself and the world that are being reflected back to you? This is where the real work lies. It's not about changing others, but about changing your own consciousness. As you shift your inner state, the world around you naturally begins to reflect this new state of being. In conclusion, the path to never getting angry or bothered by anyone lies within you. It's a journey of self-discovery, of remembering your true nature as the creator of your reality. As you practice this, you'll find that not only do you become free from the tyranny of anger, but you also become a beacon of peace and understanding in the world. Every interaction becomes an opportunity to practice, to choose love over fear, understanding over judgment. And as you do this, you'll find that your life transforms in ways you never thought possible. You become the living embodiment of peace, radiating calm and understanding to all you encounter. This is your birthright, your true nature. Claim it now. Choose peace in every moment. Watch as your world transforms, not because others have changed, but because you have remembered who you truly are. You are the operant power, the creator of your reality. In this knowing lies your freedom, your peace, and your power to create a life beyond your wildest dreams. Imagine, if you will, a world where everything you desire is already yours. A reality where the mere act of seeking is replaced by the knowing that what you wish for is already in your possession. This, my dear listeners, is not a fantasy, but the very nature of our being. In this grand theater of life, we often find ourselves caught in the endless pursuit of our desires. We chase after love, wealth, success, and happiness as if they were elusive butterflies, always just out of reach. But I say to you now with absolute certainty that this relentless seeking is the very thing that keeps us from our desires. The secret, the great mystery that has eluded so many, is that everything you could ever want or need already exists within you. It is not something to be found out there in the external world, but rather to be realized and awakened from within. Consider for a moment the nature of your own consciousness. Are you not the one who is aware of your thoughts, your feelings, and your desires? This awareness, this I am that you truly are, is the source of all creation. It is the God within you, the infinite intelligence that shapes the very universe we inhabit. When you say I am, you are invoking the name of God. For is it not written in the scriptures, be still and know that I am God? This stillness, this cessation of seeking, is the key to unlocking the infinite potential that lies dormant within you. Let us delve deeper into this concept. When you seek something, you are affirming its absence in your life. You are telling the universe, I do not have this, and therefore I must search for it. But in doing so, you are creating the very lack you seek to overcome. Instead, I urge you to adopt a new approach. Rather than seeking, begin assuming. Assume that you already possess that which you desire. Feel the joy, the gratitude, the fulfillment that comes with having your wish fulfilled. For in truth, the moment you can feel it as real, it is yours. This is the law of assumption, the cornerstone of all creation. Whatever you assume to be true, whatever state you occupy in your imagination, must and will become your reality. The outer world is nothing more than a reflection of your inner state of being. Let me illustrate this with a simple example. Suppose you desire financial abundance. The common approach would be to work harder, to seek opportunities, to chase after wealth. But I say to you, assume the state of wealth now. Feel the security, the freedom, the joy that comes with financial abundance. Live from that state and watch as the outer world reshapes itself to match your inner conviction. You see, my friends, the world is not something separate from you. It is not an objective reality that exists independently of your consciousness. No, the world is you pushed out. Every person, every circumstance, every event in your life is but a reflection of your own state of consciousness. This is why seeking is futile. When you seek, you are pushing your desire away from you, projecting it into a future that never arrives. But when you assume the state of the wish fulfilled, when you live from the end, you draw your desire to you with the irresistible force of divine law. Now, some of you may be wondering, but Neville, how can I assume something to be true when my senses tell me otherwise? This, my dear listeners, is where the power of imagination comes into play. Your imagination is not some frivolous fantasy factory. It is the very workshop of creation. Whatever you can imagine and feel as real becomes real. This is creative power that was given to you at birth. The power to shape your world through the exercise of your imagination. When you close your eyes and imagine a scene that implies the fulfillment of your desire, you are not daydreaming. You are engaging in the most intense form of creation. You are planting a seed in the fertile soil of your subconscious mind, a seed that must germinate and bear fruit in your outer world. But here's the crucial point. You must persist in this assumption. You must nurture that seed with the waters of faith and the sunlight of conviction. For a brief imaginal act is not enough to override years of contrary beliefs and assumptions. This is where many falter on the path. They glimpse the truth, they perform a single imaginal act, and they return to their old habits of thought and feeling. They slip back into the state of seeking, of lack, of separation from their desire. But I say to you now, with all the conviction of my being, that if you persist in the assumption of your wish fulfilled, if you live from that state day and night, nothing in this world can prevent its manifestation. For you are not some helpless creature at the mercy of external forces. You are the operant power in your universe. You are the one who decides what state you will occupy and consequently what experiences you will encounter. Think of it this way. Every state of consciousness is like a room in a vast mansion. When you enter a room, you experience everything that belongs to that room. If you enter the room of poverty, you experience lack. If you enter the room of love, you experience love. The choice of which room to occupy is always yours. So why, ask you, would you choose to occupy a state of seeking when you could just as easily occupy the state of having? Why would you stand outside the room of your fulfilled desire, knocking and pleading for entry, when the door is already open and waiting for you to walk in? This, my friends, is the essence of the teaching I share with you today. Stop seeking, and it will come to you. For in truth, it is already yours. Your task is not to go out and find it, but to awaken to the reality of its presence within you. Now, I can sense that some of you may be struggling with this concept. You may be thinking, but Neville, I have bills to pay, problems to solve. How can I simply assume that all is well when my reality shows me otherwise? To this I say, your present circumstances are nothing more than the fruit of your past assumptions. They have no power to persist unless you continue to give them life through your attention and belief. Remember, the outer world always lags the inner world. What you see now in your physical reality is the shadow of past states of consciousness. But you have the power here and now to choose a new state. And as you persist in this new state, your outer world must conform to it. This is not mere positive thinking or wishful daydreaming. This is the application of cosmic law. Just as the law of gravity operates without fail, so too does the law of consciousness. Whatever state you occupy mentally and emotionally must be made manifest in your outer world. So I urge you, dear listeners, to make a fundamental shift in your approach to life. Instead of seeking, start embodying. Instead of chasing, start being. For you are already that which you desire to be. You are already whole, complete, and perfect. Your task is not to become something you are not, but to awaken to the truth of what you already are. You are the God of your universe, the creator of your reality. The power that you have sought in the external world has always resided within you. Now let us explore this concept further through the lens of various aspects of life. For this truth applies not just to material possessions, but to every facet of human experience. Consider the realm of relationships. So many people spend their lives seeking love, believing that there is a perfect partner out there somewhere, if only they could find them. But I say to you, the love you seek is already within you. When you assume the state of being loved, when you feel the joy and fulfillment of a perfect relationship, you align yourself with that reality. You begin to embody the qualities that attract love. You become a magnet for the very experiences you desire. The same principle applies to health and well-being. Instead of seeking healing, assume the state of perfect health. Feel the vitality coursing through your veins, the strength in your limbs, the clarity in your mind. Live from that state and watch as your body responds to this new assumption. In the realm of career and purpose, stop seeking your calling and start embodying it. Assume the state of someone who is living their passion, who is making a meaningful contribution to the world. Feel the satisfaction, the sense of purpose, the joy of using your unique gifts. As you persist in this state, opportunities will arise that align with your assumed reality. Now, some of you may be thinking, but Neville, isn't this just self-deception? Am I not simply fooling myself into believing something that isn't true? To this I say, what you call truth is nothing more than a solidified assumption. Your current reality, which you accept as true, is simply the outcome of past assumptions that you have accepted and lived from. But you have the power at any moment to choose a new assumption and thus create a new reality. This is not self-deception. This is self-realization. This is awakening to your true nature as a creative being, as an individualized expression of the divine imagination that underlies all of creation. Consider the teachings of the great spiritual traditions. Did not the Christ say, "The kingdom of heaven is within you"? Did not the Buddha speak of the cessation of desire as the path to enlightenment? These are not mere poetic metaphors, but profound truths about the nature of reality and consciousness. When you stop seeking and start embodying, you are aligning yourself with this eternal wisdom. You are recognizing that the source of all fulfillment, all joy, all abundance is not something external to you, but the very essence of your being. This shift in perspective from seeking to embodying, from lack to fullness, is the most radical and transformative step you can take in your life. It is the key that unlocks the infinite potential that has always resided within you. But make no mistake, my dear friends, this is not a path for the faint of heart. It requires courage, persistence, and an unwavering faith in the unseen reality of your assumptions. The world will continue to present you with evidence that contradicts your new assumption. Your senses will report the lack, the limitation, the separation that you have known in the past. This is where your true test begins. Can you persist in your assumption in the face of contrary evidence? Can you hold fast to your vision of the wish fulfilled, even when the outer world seems to deny its reality? This is the mark of a true master, one who understands the nature of creation and refuses to be swayed by appearances. Remember, what you see in the outer world is nothing more than the shadow of past states of consciousness. It has no power to determine your future unless you give it that power through your attention and belief. So I say to you now, with all the conviction of my being, turn your attention away from the world of shadows. Cease your endless seeking in the realm of effects. Instead, turn within to the realm of cause, to the infinite creative power of your own imagination. For it is here, in the realm of pure possibility, that you will find all that you have ever sought. It is here that you will discover the truth of your being, the limitless potential that is your birthright. Imagine, if you will, a world where everyone understood this truth. A world where people no longer sought happiness, love, or success in the external world, but recognized these qualities as the very essence of their being. What kind of world would we create? I tell you now, it would be nothing short of paradise on earth. For when each individual realizes their true nature as the creator of their reality, when each person assumes responsibility for their state of consciousness, the entire world is transformed. This is the great work that lies before us. Not to change the world through external action, but to change it from within, through the power of our assumptions and the creative force of our imagination. And so, my dear friends, I urge you once again, stop seeking, and it will come to you. For in truth, it has always been yours. Your task is not to acquire, but to awaken. Not to become, but to realize. Not to find, but to remember. Let go of the habit of seeking. Release the belief in lack and limitation. Abandon the idea that what you desire is separate from you or difficult to attain. Instead, assume the state of the wish fulfilled. Lead from the end. Be that which you desire to be. As you do this, you will find that the very things you once sought so desperately begin to flow into your life with effortless ease. For you are no longer pushing them away through your seeking, but drawing them to you through the magnetic power of your assumption. This is the law of reversal, the great secret that has been hidden in plain sight throughout the ages. When you cease to seek, you begin to find. When you let go of the chase, your desire chases you. When you stop trying to make things happen, things begin to happen of their own accord. But remember, this is not a passive state of inaction. It is the most profound and powerful form of action there is. For you are acting on the causal level of reality, shaping the very substance of creation through the power of your consciousness. Your every thought, your every feeling, your every assumption is a creative act. You are constantly shaping your world through the states you occupy. So choose wisely, my friends. Choose the states that align with your highest vision for yourself and for the world. Assume the best of yourself and others. Assume abundance, love, health, and joy. Assume that the universe is working in your favor, that every experience is a stepping stone to your greater good. For as you assume, so shall it be. This is the promise and the challenge that I lay before you today. It is a call to awaken to your true nature, to step into your power as the creator of your reality. It is an invitation to stop seeking and start being, to cease chasing and start embodying. The choice, as always, is yours. You can continue to live in the old way, seeking endlessly for that which has always been within you. Or you can embrace this new understanding, this timeless wisdom, and begin to live from the state of the wish fulfilled. I urge you, with all the love and conviction in my heart, to choose the latter. For when you do, you will discover a freedom and a joy beyond anything you've ever known. You will tap into the infinite creative power that is your true nature. You will become a conscious co-creator with the divine, shaping your world in accordance with your highest vision. And as you do this, as you live from this expanded state of consciousness, you will find that life becomes an endless adventure of self-discovery and creation. The very challenges that once seemed insurmountable become opportunities for growth and expression. The limitations that once bound you dissolve in the light of your newfound understanding. For you are not a mere mortal, struggling against the forces of an indifferent universe. You are a divine being, a creative force, an individualized expression of the infinite intelligence that underlies all creation. And when you truly realize this, when you live from this truth, there is nothing in this world that can stand against you. So go forth, my dear friends, with this new understanding. Let go of the habit of seeking. Embrace the truth of your being. Live from the state of the wish fulfilled. And watch as the world transforms itself to match your inner vision. Remember, the power is within you. The kingdom is at hand. The door is open. All that remains is for you to walk through it, to claim your divine inheritance, to step into the fullness of your being. Start seeking, and it will come to you, for it has always been yours, waiting only for you to recognize and claim it. This is the eternal truth, the great secret, the divine mystery revealed. Embrace it, live it, become it, and watch as your life transforms in ways you never thought possible. And so, my dear listeners, as we draw this discourse to a close, I want you to take a moment to reflect on what we've explored together. Feel the truth of these words resonating within you. Allow them to sink deep into your consciousness, to take root in the fertile soil of your subconscious mind. For it is from this place of deep knowing that true transformation occurs. It is here, in the quiet depths of your being, that you will find the strength and the courage to live this truth, to embody this wisdom in every aspect of your life. Remember, the journey we've embarked upon today is not a destination to be reached, but a new way of being to be lived. It is a continuous unfolding, a perpetual discovery of the infinite potential that resides within you. As you go forth from this place, carry with you the knowledge that you are the creator of your reality. Let every thought, every feeling, every assumption be a conscious choice, aligned with your highest vision for yourself and for the world. And when you find yourself slipping back into old habits of seeking, of striving, of chasing after your desires, gently remind yourself of this truth, seeking, and it will come to you. For in that moment of letting go, of surrendering to the wisdom of your true self, you open yourself to receive all that you have ever desired and more. Trust in this process, my friends. Have faith in the unseen reality or assumptions, for it is this faith, this unwavering conviction in the creative power of your consciousness, that will carry you through any challenge and bring forth the manifestation of your deepest desires. You are the miracle you've been waiting for. You are the answer to your own prayers. You are the fulfillment of your own prophecy. Embrace this truth, this understanding, as you want this as your perfect alignment with your inner state. And so, with deep love and profound gratitude, I leave you with these final words. Be still and know that you are God. For in this stillness, in this cessation of seeking, you will find all that you have ever sought and more. The power is within you, always has been, and always will be. It is not something to be acquired, but something to be realized and expressed. As you leave this gathering today, I challenge you to put these principles into practice. Begin with something small, something that feels within reach. Assume the state of already having it, feeling the joy and gratitude of its possession. Then, watch and wait. Be patient, but expectant. For the seed you have planted in the fertile soil of your imagination must grow and bear fruit in its appointed hour. Remember, the time it takes for your assumption to become your physical reality is directly proportional to the naturalness of the state. The more natural it feels to you, the quicker it will manifest. So persist in your assumption until it feels as natural as breathing. And as you begin to see the fruits of your assumptive work, as your outer world begins to reflect the changes in your inner world, you will gain confidence in this process. You will begin to tackle larger desires, grander visions, for there is no limit to what you can be, do, or have when you align yourself with the creative power of your imagination. But I caution you, do not embark on this journey for the mere accumulation of things. While there is nothing inherently wrong with material possessions, they are not the ultimate aim of this practice. The true purpose of this work is the expansion of your consciousness, the realization of your divine nature, the expression of your highest self. As you master the art of assumption, as you learn to live from the state of the wish fulfilled, you will find that your desires begin to change. The things that once seemed so important may lose their allure. You may find yourself drawn to higher pursuits, to more expansive visions, to goals that serve not just your individual self, but all of humanity. This is the natural progression of consciousness. As you awaken to your true nature as a creative being, you begin to align yourself with the greater good, with the divine plan for creation. Your individual will merges with the universal will, and you become a conscious co-creator with the divine. In this state of expanded awareness, you will find that life becomes an endless adventure of self-discovery and creation. Every moment becomes an opportunity for growth, for expression, for the manifestation of your highest vision. You will begin to see the divine in all things, to recognize the interconnectedness of all life. The barriers that once seemed to separate you from others will dissolve, and you will experience a profound sense of unity with all of creation. This, my dear friends, is the ultimate aim of the practice we have discussed today. It is not just about getting what you want, but about becoming who you truly are. It is about awakening to your divine nature, about realizing your oneness with the source of all creation. So as we conclude our time together, I urge you once again, stop seeking and it will come to you. For in that cessation of seeking, in that stillness of being, you will find all that you have ever desired and more. You will discover the truth of your being, the limitless potential that is your birthright. Go forth now, not as seekers, but as finders, not as wanting, but as having, not as becoming, but as being. For you are already complete, already whole, already perfect. Your task is simply to awaken to this truth and to live from it in every moment. Let your life be a testament to this wisdom. Let your very being radiate the truth of who you are. For as you do, you become a light in this world, a beacon of hope, and inspiration for all who cross your path. And remember, no matter what challenges you may face, no matter what obstacles may arise, you have within you the power to overcome. For you are not a mere mortal subject to the whims of fate. You are a divine being, a creative force, an individualized expression of the infinite intelligence that underlies all of creation. Embrace this truth. Live from this understanding. And watch as your world transforms in ways you never thought possible. My dear friends, it has been my great joy and privilege to share this truth with you today. As we part ways, know that I carry each of you in my heart. I see the divine in you, the infinite potential that is your true nature. And I know with absolute certainty that as you apply these principles in your life, you will experience a transformation beyond your wildest dreams. So go now with love in your heart and faith in your step. Go forth and create the life you desire. Go forth and be the person you are meant to be. Go forth and realize the truth of your being. For you are the creator of your reality. You are the master of your fate. You are the author of your story. And the power to write that story exactly as you wish lies within you, waiting only to be recognized and expressed. Stop seeking, and it will come to you. This is the promise and the challenge I leave you with today. Embrace it, live it, become it, and watch as your life unfolds in perfect harmony with your highest vision. Thank you, my dear friends. Thank you for your attention, for your openness, for your willingness to explore these profound truths. May your journey be filled with joy, with discovery, with the realization of your deepest desires. And may you always remember the truth of who you are, a divine being, infinite in potential, boundless in creativity, eternal in nature. Go now and be at peace, for all that you seek is already within you, waiting only to be recognized and expressed. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step, and you have taken that step today. The rest of the journey lies before you, filled with infinite possibilities and boundless potential. Remember the world as you pushed out. What you see around you is nothing more than a reflection of your inner state. So cultivate beauty within, and you will see beauty without. Cultivate love within, and you will experience love without. Cultivate abundance within, and you will manifest abundance without. As you leave this gathering and return to your daily lives, carry with you this knowing you are not separate from your desire. You are one with it. It is not something to be sought, but something to be assumed. It is not something to be achieved, but something to be realized. In every moment you have a choice. You can choose to live from the old state of seeking and wanting, or you can choose to live from the new state of having and being. The choice is yours, and it is a choice you make in every moment of every day. Choose wisely, my friends. Choose to live from the end. Choose to embody the state of your wish fulfilled. For as you do, you align yourself with the creative forces of the universe. And nothing can prevent the manifestation of your desire. And if you find yourself faltering, if you find the old habits of thought and feeling creeping back in, do not despair. Simply recognize it for what it is, an old pattern, a familiar groove, and gently guide your thoughts and feelings back to the state of the wish fulfilled. This is not a battle to be won, but a dance to be danced. It is not about forcing yourself to think positive thoughts, but about aligning yourself with the truth of your being. It is about remembering who you really are and living from that remembrance. As you practice this, as you make it your daily habit to assume the state of the wish fulfilled, you will find that it becomes easier and more natural. What once required effort will become effortless. What once seemed impossible will become inevitable. For you are not changing who you are, but remembering who you have always been. You are not becoming something new, but awakening to your true nature. You are not acquiring something you lack, but recognizing the fullness that is already within you. This, my dear friends, is the great adventure that lies before you. It is an adventure of self-discovery, of self-realization, of self-expression. It is an adventure that will take you to the very heights of human potential and beyond. So embrace it with all your heart. Dive into it with all your soul. For in this adventure lies the key to all that you have ever desired and more. In this journey of awakening, you will find not just the fulfillment of your individual desires, but the realization of your oneness with all of creation. And as you walk this path, know that you do not walk alone. The entire universe conspires to support you in your awakening. Every experience, every encounter, every seeming obstacle is but an opportunity for growth, for expansion, for the expression of your true nature. So go forth with courage, with faith, with the unshakable knowing that all is well. For you are the creator of your reality, the master of your fate, the author of your story. And the pen with which you write that story is the power of your assumption. Assume greatness, and you will experience greatness. Assume love, and you will know love. Assume abundance, and you will live in abundance. For what you assume, you become. What you embody, you experience. What you are, you attract. This is the law of consciousness, the principle upon which all creation rests. It is not something to be learned, but something to be lived. It is not a technique to be mastered, but a truth to be embodied. So embody it, my friends, live it, be it. For in doing so, you fulfill your divine purpose. You express your true nature. You become who you were always meant to be. And in that becoming, you light up the world. You become a beacon of hope, a source of inspiration, a living testament to the transformative power of consciousness. So go now with my blessings and my love. Go and create the life you desire. Go and be the person you are meant to be. Go and realize the truth of your being. For you are not just a seeker of truth, but truth itself. You are not just a dreamer of dreams, but the very substance from which dreams are made. You are not just a child of God, but God individualized, God in expression, God made manifest. Embrace this truth. Live from this understanding and watch as your world transforms in perfect harmony with your highest vision. Stop seeking and it will come to you, for it has always been yours, waiting only for you to recognize and claim it. This is the eternal truth, the great secret, the divine mystery revealed. Go now and be at peace, for all is well in your world. All is unfolding according to the divine plan. And you are an integral part of that plan, a unique and irreplaceable expression of the divine. Thank you, my dear friends. Thank you for your presence, for your openness, for your willingness to explore these profound truths. May your journey be filled with joy, with discovery, with the realization of your deepest desires. And may you always remember the truth of who you are, a divine being, infinite in potential, boundless in creativity, eternal in nature. Go forth and live from this truth, and watch as miracles unfold in your life. For the greatest miracle of all is not something that happens to you, but the realization of who you truly are. And in that realization lies the fulfillment of all your desires and more. Go in peace, my friends. Go in love. Go in the knowing that you are the creator of your reality, the master of your fate, the author of your story. And may your story be one of joy, of love, of the full expression of your divine nature. For in the end, that is what this journey is all about. It is not about getting, but about being. It is not about achieving, but about realizing. It is not about becoming, but about remembering who you have always been. Remember this truth, live from this understanding, and watch as your world transforms in ways you never thought possible. For you are the miracle you've been waiting for. You are the answer to your own prayers. You are the fulfillment of your own prophecy. Embrace this truth, embody this wisdom, and go forth to create the life of your dreams. For it is your divine right and your sacred duty to do so. Thank you, and may your journey be blessed with all that you desire and more.
What if there was a way to manifest your desires so quickly it feels almost supernatural, a technique so rare only a few truly understand its power? Today we uncover a hidden gem from Neville Goddard, the legendary teacher of manifestation and the law of assumption. His teachings have transformed countless lives, and this one technique has the potential to change yours too, if you're ready for it. Neville Goddard believed that the key to shaping your reality lies in your assumptions. But there's one specific method he taught that takes this idea to another level. A way to align your mind and emotions so perfectly with your desires that they materialize faster than you ever imagined. In this video, You will learn step by step how to use this rare technique, uncover the subtle details that make it so powerful, and hear stories of how others have used it to achieve extraordinary results. We'll also reveal common mistakes people make when trying to manifest, so you can avoid the traps that hold so many back. Stay with us until the end, because we'll share the final, crucial piece of this puzzle. The one thing that ensures your manifestations don't just appear, but stay a part of your life. If you've ever wondered why some people seem to manifest effortlessly while others struggle, this is the missing link. By the end of this video, you'll have the knowledge to apply this technique to your own life and see results that might just leave you speechless. Welcome to Limitless Mindset, your go-to channel for unlocking the potential of your mind. Don't forget to subscribe and join us as we dive deep into the art of manifestation. Let's get started. Before we talk about the rare technique Neville Goddard shared, it's important to understand the foundation it's built on, the law of assumption. This concept is simple yet profound. What you assume to be true, whether consciously or unconsciously, becomes your reality. In other words, your life reflects the beliefs and assumptions you hold in your mind. Think about it. Every thought you entertain, every belief you accept, creates a ripple effect. These ripples influence your emotions, decisions, and ultimately, the reality you live in. For example, if you assume that success comes easily to you, your mind will naturally guide you to opportunities, actions, and circumstances that align with that belief. On the other hand, if you assume life is a constant struggle, that belief will shape your reality too, leading you to experience obstacles and setbacks more often than not. Neville Goddard emphasized that assumptions are not just fleeting thoughts. They are deeply rooted impressions in your subconscious mind. The subconscious doesn't question whether something is true or false. It simply accepts what you feed it and works tirelessly to bring those assumptions to life. This is why people often say, your thoughts create your reality. But Neville went deeper. He taught that it's not just about thoughts, it's about assuming the feeling of your desire already fulfilled. When you adopt a belief or assumption, your mind begins to filter the world through that lens. You start noticing opportunities, ideas, and even people that align with your assumption. This is why two people can look at the same situation and see completely different things, because their beliefs shape how they interpret reality. For example, let's say two people want to start a business. One assumes it's possible and that they will succeed. They feel confident and take bold steps forward. The other assumes it's too hard or risky and feels hesitant, which stops them from even trying. The outcomes for these two individuals will likely reflect their assumptions. Understanding this law is key, because it gives you the power to take control of your life, instead of feeling like a victim of circumstances. You can become the creator of your reality by changing the beliefs and assumptions you hold. This is what makes the law of assumption so powerful. It puts the power back into your hands. Before we talk about how this rare technique works, let's take a moment to appreciate why it's so unique. Neville Goddard's teachings often focused on the power of the imagination, but this particular method takes it a step further. It's not just about visualizing what you want. It's about aligning your entire being, your mind, emotions, and beliefs, with the reality you wish to create. When practiced correctly, it has the potential to accelerate your manifestations in ways that feel almost magical. The first step is relaxation. To access the deeper levels of your mind, where this technique works best, you need to calm both your body and your thoughts. Find a quiet place where you won't be disturbed. Sit or lie down comfortably, close your eyes, and take slow, deep breaths. Feel your muscles relax, and let any tension melt away. This relaxed state allows you to bypass the critical, questioning part of your mind and tap into your subconscious. Next comes visualization. With your eyes closed, create a vivid mental picture of your desire, as if it's already a part of your life. Imagine every detail, the sights, sounds, and even the smells of that reality. For example, if you're manifesting a new job, visualize yourself sitting at your dream desk, speaking confidently to colleagues, and feeling fulfilled. The clearer and more detailed your visualization, the more real it becomes to your subconscious mind. But visualization alone isn't enough. This is where emotional involvement comes in. As you visualize, allow yourself to feel the emotions that come with your desire being fulfilled. Joy, excitement, gratitude, whatever emotions you would naturally feel in that moment, let them fill your entire being. This emotional charge is what gives the visualization its power, imprinting it deeply into your subconscious. Now, here's the key step: assumption. You must firmly accept that what you visualized is already true. Not that it will happen someday, but that it's happening now. This shift in mindset is crucial because the subconscious mind responds to what you believe is real. Your problem is, you believe the worst. Finally, detachment. Once you've assumed the reality of your desire, let it go. This doesn't mean you stop believing in it. It means you release any worry or need to control how it will manifest. Trust the process. The universe, or your subconscious mind, will align circumstances to bring your assumption into reality. Each step builds on the previous one, creating a seamless process that transforms your inner world and your outer reality. Before we talk about how you can apply this technique to your own life, let's look at some remarkable stories from people who have used it successfully. These real-life examples show not only the power of Neville Goddard's method, but also how quickly it can transform your reality when practiced correctly. The first is that of Andrew Shiner, the lover of Julie Gray. The second is that of Richard Dahmer. One individual shared how they used this technique to manifest their dream job. They were stuck in a job they didn't enjoy and couldn't see a way out. Following Neville's steps, they took time each night to relax deeply and visualize themselves in a new, fulfilling position. They imagined walking into the office of their dreams, feeling excited and accomplished. They didn't just see it, they felt it. Within weeks, they were unexpectedly approached by a recruiter offering a role that matched their vision almost perfectly. Another story comes from someone who wanted to improve their financial situation. They were drowning in debt and felt hopeless about their future. Instead of focusing on their struggles, they began visualizing themselves living a life of abundance. They imagined the feeling of financial freedom, the joy of paying off bills effortlessly, and the peace of mind that came with it. They assumed this new reality was already true. Within a short period, they received an unexpected windfall that cleared their debts and opened new opportunities for income. One particularly striking example involves a woman who wanted to heal a strained relationship with a family member. She practiced this technique by visualizing heartfelt conversations and imagining the joy of reconciliation. She felt the love and harmony as if it were already present. To her amazement, the family member reached out after years of silence, and they began rebuilding their bond almost immediately. So, these stories share a common thread: the speed and precision of the results. While some might call it coincidence, those who have experienced it know there's more at play. They all followed the steps: relaxation, visualization, emotional involvement, assumption, and detachment, and trusted the process. What stands out in these testimonials is how this method not only brings desires to life, but often does so in ways that seem effortless and even unexpected. It's not about forcing things to happen. It's about aligning your inner world so that the outer world naturally reflects it. These successes prove that when practiced consistently, this technique has the potential to work wonders. Before we talk about how to make this technique a part of your daily life, let's address some common pitfalls that can block your progress. Even though Neville Goddard's method is simple and effective, there are certain mistakes people make that can weaken its impact. Understanding these challenges and knowing how to avoid them will ensure your practice remains powerful and consistent. One of the most common pitfalls is doubting the process. When results don't appear immediately, it's easy to feel frustrated or skeptical. This doubt creates resistance in your mind, making it harder for your desires to manifest. Remember, the law of assumption works like planting a seed. You wouldn't dig up a seed every day to check if it's growing, right? The same applies here. Trust the process and give it time. Consistency is key. Another mistake is the lack of emotional involvement. Visualization without emotion is like painting without color. It lacks vibrancy and life. Some people go through the motions of imagining their desires, but fail to connect emotionally with their vision. Without the feeling of joy, gratitude, or excitement, the subconscious mind doesn't fully register your assumption as real. To avoid this, focus on immersing yourself in the emotions tied to your desire. Feel it deeply, as if it's happening now. A third challenge is treating the technique as a chore rather than a joyful practice. When you approach it with a sense of obligation, your energy becomes rigid and the process loses its magic. Instead, think of it as a creative exercise, a chance to shape your future in a playful and empowering way. Make it something you look forward to, not something you force yourself to do. To maintain faith and consistency, create a routine that works for you. Set aside time each day to relax, visualize, and connect with your desires. Morning and evening are often ideal because your mind is naturally more receptive during these times. Surround yourself with positive influences, such as books, videos, or communities that support manifestation. This keeps your energy aligned and reinforces your belief in the process. Lastly, avoid overthinking or obsessing about the how. Your job is to assume the end result, not to micromanage the details. Let go of the need to control every step and trust that the path will unfold in the best possible way. By staying consistent, emotionally engaged, and free of doubt, you'll create the space for your desires to flow effortlessly into your life. As we wrap up, let's take a moment to reflect on what we've explored today. The law of assumption is a powerful principle that puts the creative power of your life in your hands. It's not just about wishing or hoping. It's about aligning your beliefs, emotions, and assumptions with the reality you want to create. Neville Goddard's rare technique takes this concept to a whole new level. By following the steps of relaxation, visualization, emotional involvement, assumption, and detachment, you can accelerate the manifestation of your desires in ways that feel almost effortless. This is not just theory. Countless people have shared incredible success stories that prove the effectiveness of this method. Now it's your turn. Practice this technique with faith and consistency. Make it a part of your daily life and watch as your inner transformation creates remarkable changes in your outer world. Remember, it's about trusting the process and allowing your desires to flow to you naturally. Your creativity and liberation. If you found this video helpful or inspiring, we'd love to hear from you. Share your thoughts, experiences, or even your success stories in the comments below. Let's build a community of like-minded individuals who are ready to take control of their lives. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to Limitless Mindset for more insights on manifestation and personal growth. Thank you for joining us today, and we'll see you in the next video. Keep creating your dream reality.